Hi Ekta, we are already live.
Hello, hello, a very good evening to one and all. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you all. As all of you know, Mr. Agnello has a lot of experience. He's a social and serial entrepreneur with incredible experience in real estate and education, and a lot of other ventures as well, and kids. With over 30 years of experience in the education space, a pioneer in neuroscience. And thank you so much for the opportunity. Look forward to having a conversation which will be a key takeaway for a lot of parents today. So, a very interesting name, Moonshot Conversation, something that's very unique. Mr. Agnello, would you like to comment on how did you choose Moonshot?
Ekta, lovely to know you and congratulations on running the platform of Confused Parent. And I'm sure too many people in the field of education and even as parents are confused. And I'm sure we'll do justice to the topic and the subject. Lena is a pro in that, and that's what she's done the last 27, 30 years of her life. And I have been in more of technical professional education in the computer education scenario, and now we have collectively come together and the business exposure that I have and the students and the parents exposure that she has, combining this together, we are trying to do justice to the audience. Parenting is a key subject. That is what you're also focused on, Ekta. And Moonshot Conversations is nothing but maximizing human potential. And the topic for the evening is maximizing the parent potential so that the child can be developed as a proper and a good child. And every child can become an Einstein, and why not? So definitely there are tricks and techniques and knowledge and experiences in the way you can train yourself to be a good parent and ultimately train a good child to grow up in its natural form to add value to the people when they grow up in the society. So Moonshot Conversations is nothing but maximizing human potential to 10x. Moonshot as a word is nothing but 10x productivity. And when I saw one of the TED Talk shows that Lena did, Lena has done a lot of shows, but one of the TED Talk shows that I saw, she used the word moonshot almost 5 to 6 times in that TED Talk. And that is where I said that TED Talk, that Moonshot Conversation is one word which is apt for the kind of activity that she and I intend to do together. And that's how this word was formed and found. And here we are today with Moonshot Conversations and another brand name that we have created for Moonshot, which is Corroboree. Lena will throw light on that. And we are 8 shows old, and we have got millions of views on these 8 shows that we have done on habits of the mind. And I'm sure Lena will have some things to add on why Moonshot Conversations.
Hi, Ekta. It's great to be here. Basically,
Hello.
hi. So basically, all kids think in moonshots because for kids who sit mostly in the theta mode, who sit mostly in the world of imagination, anything and everything is possible. Till we adults get to them and start giving them limitations. So the whole process of Moonshot Conversations is if parents start understanding what limits kids, and then they can start parenting their children, in a way that is limitless. So kids actually keep in that world of moonshot thinking, then we actually will have a lot of rocket scientists across the world because everyone will be reaching for the moon. So that's what Moonshot Conversations is all about in the journey between Agnella Rajesh and myself.
True, true. Thank you so much. I have been following a lot of your talks. In fact, you had earlier mentioned about Einstein, where, until the age of 4, he hardly spoke, of failure at school rejected, college rejected him. And then, people said there's not much scope for him to do much in life. But then, the world has seen so much that he's done. So, yeah, thank you so much. It's a fantastic word, moonshot. So,
So,
we.
so Ekta, the
Yes,
basic thing is this, that his mother, his mother sort of intuitively knew that how to bring up Einstein for thinking of possibilities and not sort of not limiting him because he wasn't doing well at school. So we need more mothers like Einstein's mother, because imagine if we didn't have her, we would have we would have lost so much that the world has, thanks to Einstein today.
Actually, I would like to add here, Ekta, that all the people who have changed the world, all the scientists and all the sportsmen and all the entrepreneurs who have changed the world for good, apparently have parents who are unknown. But one thing that we need to know is it is those parents who created those historical personalities of this world. So it was their parents who took them to the right path, and they recognized the strengths of their children, cultivated them, nurtured them, matured them, and then they became contributors to the world. So the credit does not go only to Einstein, but the credit goes to all the parents of people like Einstein who created them and made them into Einstein. So parenting is a key tool, and that's going to be the core focus of Corroboree and Moonshot Conversations. And Lena has mastered that with over 40,000 of research on scientific basis on the habits of the mind and how psychology works and how human behavior is all about. That's going to be the contribution about what we are going to do together and add value to creating. It's like growing up a better parent than rather than growing up a better child, and that's the attempt.
I absolutely agree. In fact, talking about Einstein, I do remember there was something that I read recently where, when the school was basically rusticating him, so the school sent a small letter, that, we are sorry, we cannot continue to, have your child with us. So Einstein saw his mom crying, like there were tears rolling down his cheeks. But, what she instead told him was that, you are such a brilliant child that, the school feels that, they are not possibly the right institution to educate you. And that's when, I think positive parenting, like you all have spoken of many, the child's true potential. So thank you. Thanks so much. Talking of the current situation, the pandemic. So how do you think this pandemic has affected parents and children? We look at both individually. First, how has it affected the parents, and then children. So, Lena, would you like to share your thoughts?
So the pandemic, the pandemic affects you as much as you allow it to affect you. And that's the beauty of Moonshot Conversations, because I think suddenly parents have realized that everything kids are doing in school, that there was still something missing in terms of development. And this pandemic has thrown that absolute void in the field of education wide open. And if you look at the NEP, it's the first time I think the government and policymakers have realized that there is some need, apart from grades and marks, there's some need for EQ development. So I think one of the reasons why people are so drawn to Moonshot Conversations is to kind of sense what is this void and what can we do to ensure that our kids come through this time, better than when we came into it. Because if we look at this time positively, there's so much actually we can use this time to benefit us, in terms of our self-development personally, as well as professionally, as well as environmentally. I mean, everyone's posting how well this time has done for the environment. So we're all realizing that there are things that we need to be thinking about at a deeper level, such as sustainability, such as resilience, which we're all counting on. It's the people who are resilient at this time who are kind of thriving, even though this has come to them unexpected. But they can actually handle things that are unexpected because of the way that their minds work. That their mindset's always looking for what can we get out of the situation, rather than how is this situation coming in my way.
Right.
Awesome.
So in terms of formal education, thank you so much. Like, we look at it two ways, in terms of curriculum and then maybe co-curricular. So how do you think this is panning out for both parents and children? Particularly we are going to talk about stress. We were earlier sent to school, and then parents felt now the teachers are going to take care of education, be it physical activity, be it formal education. But now, since the kids are at home, I think me as a parent of a 5-year-old, I also feel, the onus of, an hour or two or three, the child is learning definitely, but possibly much lesser than what he or she would have learned at school. So any thoughts on that, Agnello? Would you like, Ali?
Let Lina go for it, and then I will definitely add to that.
Okay, so Ekta, your child will see this time exactly the way you see this time. If you see this time as one
Right.
of him not being able to develop skills, then that's exactly what will happen. So if you see this time, I mean, your kitchen is a science laboratory. You can help. You can have this time so that your kids can actually learn life skills, which he probably wouldn't do at school. He can help you washing dishes. He can help you setting the table. You can teach him counting. You can teach him sorting. You can teach him everything that he could possibly learn in school. If you just go onto the internet and say activities at home for 5-year-olds, you'll get a bunch of things to do with him at home. So everything depends
Right.
on your mindset. If you have a growth mindset, you'll definitely look at all the opportunities to grow your child at this time. I constantly asking parents, I don't understand why you're making such a big deal about your child losing 1 year of learning at school, because you can make up for it for him to learn so much more about other things that he's truly interested in. And it doesn't have to be what's in the textbook. And I'm asking you, Ekta, what do you remember of what you studied in grade 2, grade 3 anyway?
Truly, and I actually absolutely agree. To be very candid, to tell you something personally, so I actually am not an iPad mom. I'm not a songs mom, because there is not a single app, not a single game on my phone. So the way I feed my children is only through books. So I actually agree. Like, she has learned to knead the dough, like you mentioned. So she now knows how to knead the dough. She knows how to string beads. She's helped me with the chore. She's learned a lot more. Like, she's learned bhajans, like you say, like, so she's learned a lot more. For me, I think it's been a blessing in disguise. Children will eventually learn CAD, PAT, math. I'm telling this because she's 5 years old. But for kids who are older, I think parents are really stressed about, say, someone who's in grade 9, grade 10. They know that board exams is like around the corner for them. Like, do you have thoughts, like, for them it's a stressful situation, considering you don't know when schools are going to actually open up.
So I'm
So,
seeing.
So
I'll let you go,
please.
Rajesh, first.
Well, as long as Lina, you're asking the questions to Ekta, not me, I'm very comfortable. But I would like to answer a question on the pandemic. So, Ekta, the economics has come into the action. We have all learned maximum utilization of available resources, and suddenly your home has become a home. It has become an office, and it has also become a school, because people are working from home. People are teaching their children at home. The parents have become teachers. The parents are parents, and it has brought a great deal of bonding, togetherness, life plans, because it's been a long period. It's almost 5 months that you're at home and still trying to figure out on how you should take this life forward. So I feel when a situation is inevitable, just sit back, bring out new realizations, and take your life ahead. As far as education is concerned, I don't think so anybody is missing out on anything. In fact, these are the real life situations, which are the real life lessons for everybody in the family, whether it's a toddler, whether it's a grown-up child, or whether it is parents by themselves. So I think these are great times, and nobody is going to lose on anything as far as the knowledge is concerned. In fact, people are becoming more knowledgeable, because with a lot of time at our hands, you're either watching content on entertainment, or you're watching content that you need by surfing the internet. And fortunately for us, there is good internet connectivity. There are laptops and iPads in the house, and there are conversations which are happening, which is educating one and all. There are families and there are people who are having breakfast together, lunch together, tea time together, and dinner together. So these are God bless days. These days will never come back again. Of course, we don't want these days back where we are locked down, but definitely whatever best it could give in this last 5 months, it has given. And now it is the way forward to a new world order, to a new way of living. And children will not miss out on learning at all. Let me tell you, all the children would have learned the best lessons of their life in this last 5 to 6 months, and this will improve their way forward and life forward. And it has got their emotional quotient activated because of the happenings around, and because of the negative aspects which have happened because of the pandemic. So people have sat back, thought, reactivated themselves, and repositioned life that they see from here on.
Also, Ekta, I'd like to add here,
true, I agree.
the country that leads, the PISA scores and everything else, Finland, does not start any form of formal learning, including learning to read, till the age of 7.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's only
True.
in India, America, and a few other countries where we've actually taken university, compressed it down to teach kids formal learning at an age when they're actually not ready for formal learning. So,
Yes.
for the next 2 years, if your child has to sit at home, I wouldn't even worry about it. Ekta, that's what I'm saying to you. And on the other end, I'll tell you something. Everything is a function of what we build in our heads. The
Yes.
grade 10 and grade 12 exams, Agnel or Rajesh, we remember nothing we did in our exams, because it was actually an added stress, because our brains find no meaning for learning what we're learning for the exams. We sit the exams, it's in our short-term memory system, and it's actually deleted after that. The thing to think about is that all kids are on the same in the same playing field. So
Absolutely.
there'll be some solution found to how do you get into universities. But I think it's reframed a lot of the way even the national education policy has been framed, because suddenly everyone's realized the futility
Right.
of examinations.
Fabulous.
Agree. I think, but then, parents being parents, a lot of them are stressed out. Interestingly, a recent study said that 40% of the kids between 3 and 7 are in some kind of depression, or, have like some anxiety issues, have some stress, which earlier, I think it gets cascaded, right? Like parents stressed out, then somehow it gets into the kids, parents are really anxious
So the
to
Actually,
see.
so there's a couple of things. The first thing for all parents to understand is this, that you have mirror neurons, and that's how you read somebody else's emotional state. And so if a parent is stressed, a child is likely to be stressed.
Correct.
So for the first thing is for parents to actually calm down, to breathe a lot, to understand that to understand what's in their control and what's not in their control. I interviewed somebody yesterday, and he said something so enlightening to me. I asked him actually, why do Indian parents do get so worked up about their kids doing their homework? He said,
True.
if you do the EEG, so if you actually measure the brain waves, the more the parents worry, the less the kids worry. And it's only if the parents take their foot off the pedal that do the kids actually start taking responsibility and accountability for them doing their homework. So
Correct.
I would just tell all parents, please calm down. It's just a year. A vaccine will be found soon, and it's not a big deal.
So,
True.
Leena, I have
Yes.
got a different take on that. I have a very different take on that, Leena and Ekta. My take is being stressed for the children's education is fashionable. So when parents talk about the stress that they are facing because of their children's education and future, actually they feel that it makes them look good in the eyes of the other people. So it has become fashionable, and there is a competition of which parent is more stressed about their child's future and which parent is not stressed about the child's future. Sometimes the child gets confused on why are my parents stressed, and that's why the child gets stressed. He is not stressed because of the education or getting it or not getting it or exams or no exams. He gets stressed because the parents are getting so much of stress. So I feel
Correct.
rather than being stressed and rather than connecting your parenting to the quantum of stress that you are experiencing, it is better that you become stress free and create an environment of learning for your child, which will develop the child into an Einstein or somebody like a Steve Jobs. Just by the parents having stressed, actually you're creating a block into the path of your child. In fact, the child gets pressurized that he now needs to perform not for his success but for his
But
parents
for
to boast
parents,
about the success he achieved. So please don't stress him. Ultimately, success is not the marks that you score in the school. Success is all about how happy you are, what happiness you can add to the environment around you, and how creative a child can get. And creativity and examination marks has got no connections. It has got absolutely no connections. So stress is a word that we connect being parents to show how much we love our children. Sometimes what I feel is the parents start feeling that if the parent does not express stress to the child, the child might start thinking that the parent is not loving the child enough. So I think this is a complete different perspective altogether about stress, a child, his school, his examination, and his future. Please leave him alone. Please give him creativity and give him an environment to progress in his life, identify his strengths, and develop those strengths for him to succeed in life.
I think it's a very interesting perspective. We try to live our dreams, right, through our kids. All of us have kids. We want to exert pressure to ensure what we've not done, we want to ensure our children do. I think some bit of it is attributed towards boasting to our other, parents say, this is what my child's done. And then I think some happiness we get, right? Seeing our child, like learn a new skill. It's not always to play the piano. And I would love my child to learn how to play the piano. And that's irrespective of, the child enjoying or not. I think that holds good with almost all the parents. Getting back to where we were, maximizing human potential, parenting potential. If there were 3 tips, Leena, that you would tell from your experience, because you have changed a lot in the education space from your learnings, what would you recommend parents do for their kids in this period?
So the first, or in this current period,
Yes,
first,
current
chill
period.
out. Absolutely chill out. That however you see this period is exactly the way your child's going to see this period. So if you show up with fear, if you show up with anxiety, if you show up with confusion, that's exactly how your child's going to show up. So do whatever you need to chill. So one of the things that you really do need to do to chill is to stop watching the news. It's just feeding into your state of anxiety. Our brains are wired, from an evolutionary perspective, our brains are wired for fear. So please stop watching the news. And the third is look at what you can control at this time and use that to the best advantage. You can control a sense of connection with the family. So what are all the ways in which you guys can connect as a family? Please do that, including watching Moonshot conversations, downloading the journal, and doing the work as a family.
Nice, interesting. Do you see homeschooling picking up now that parents feel that they can kind of educate their kids at home? So do you think homeschooling picking up in the near future?
Absolutely. I think the way EdTech has taken a step forward is, suddenly everyone's realized that, I understand you're a mom who doesn't like screens, but I come from a slightly different perspective, that we don't stop kids from embracing what's current. We work out how to use it in a way that serves our kids. So
Right.
I completely agree that screens, there should be rules and regulations around screens for the whole family. And I love the fact that you said, Ekta, that you don't have apps on your phone, so you're not allowing your kids to use the screen, but you yourself are modeling that behavior, which is wonderful. But I'd like to excite parents to look at the positive side of screens. That you can use it to meditate, you can use it to read, you can use it to learn, you can use it for a lot of things that are really positive and uplifting and transformational for you, for your growth as a human being. So as long as you have the rules around it, that family connection times, like at the dinner table, etc., there's no screens allowed, and we all have a limit on how much screen time we will use. Screens are not to be completely stopped from, because they are the way forward. And our kids are not living the time we lived in. Imagine, it's almost like saying that when books were discovered, when print was discovered, it was equally seen with an anxious view. So imagine, Ekta, if your parents said, we don't allow any books in the home.
No, see, obviously we do use technology, right? That technology is everywhere. We are using a laptop right now, so that's inevitable. So when I say there are no apps, what I meant to say is, of course, there is no Candy Crush, there is no Subway Surfers, there is no PUBG, there is, like when there is screen time, then it is videos that really are educational. It's not like a nursery rhyme that you're playing 200 times, right? Just because you want to feed your child. So that's what I meant when I
So
said, there is no screen time.
that's a great use of screen time, Ekta. I'm completely with you there.
Yes, thank you. Mr. Agnello, would you like to say something? You were earlier wanting to
Well,
share your thoughts.
what I strongly feel is gamification of education is the big swing forward. Using technology as an automated training technology tool is critically important because there you'll be able to identify what the student is inclined towards, what he's understanding, what he wants to understand, what he's enjoying. Till yesterday, the education was done in a very different way. There are 20 children or 60 children or 80 children in a classroom, one teacher teaching them. We know that the teacher taught some subject, but we don't know how much every student has grasped. The power of technology is it can get into the brain of every child and identify what the child is enjoying, what he's absorbing, how much he's understanding, and where he needs support and where is he excelling in. So technology is going to be the teacher which will map the mind growth of a child and a student. So it is going to be great the way education is going to shape up in the coming days. Homeschooling is definitely a great option as well. But at the same time, whether you are going to a school or whether you are not going to a school is immaterial, but the method of your education, the methodology, the curriculum, and the method on how it is going to be delivered to a student is going to take prime importance. It is the process which is important, right, rather than the outcome. It is not the percentage that he achieves, but it is how much he understands the subject, which is going to take center stage. And I feel the new education policy that the government is talking about, I'm sure there is going to be a gap between the cup and the lip. But at the same time, we are now moving in the right direction. And good players with good methodologies need to come into the system to make sure that the objective of making every child into a brilliant child in whatever that child is capable for, whatever is his strengths, will start happening. So I think the methods are going to change. Technology is going to be a key driver. Your teacher is going to be the technology through which you'll be able to map the progress of every child. So I think these are changing times. These are fabulous, fantastic times. And this will do full justice to the complete potential of an individual human being.
So the only shift I see is I agree with Agnello Rajesh that the screen will replace the content.
Yes.
And you can interact with it. You can create using the screen. The school, or whether you call it school or a community, it'll probably turn into more of a community center.
Yes.
Will be where children will interact and where they'll build their social and emotional skills. So IQ will come to the screen, and EQ and SQ will actually be through a community way of interacting.
Absolutely. And I don't have to wait for my results, Lena. I will give the exams now and I will get my results now. There is no tomorrow. With the help of technology, the testing of my information in my mind or my skill set, I don't have to write my 10th standard board exams and wait for 3 months for my results to get out. Everything that I learn, my learning process itself will test my knowledge. And if I'm lacking somewhere, it will automatically prompt me into getting into some more exercises, which will improve my beliefs on that particular subject, or it will improve my knowledge on that particular subject. There is no waiting game. There is no exams. There is no test. What I want to learn, if I'm not strong in it, teach it to me now and tell me my results now on the spot of the moment. And that's where education is leading to. And that is what is possible purely because of the power of technology, which will empower this kind of outcomes.
And one of the things that Agnello Rajesh said, you get the feedback instantly.
Yes.
That's actually the way the brain works. So the unfortunate thing at the moment is when kids do worksheets or they do exams, they get their papers back after a week. By that time, the brain has already assumed and convinced that the answers that they gave were the correct answers. So the brain only works best if it gets instant feedback, which is only possible through technology.
Actually, the real teacher in this case would be the feedback mechanism. That is the real teacher, because you have responded to a particular exercise that you are doing. If you have done it right, fantastic, it takes you to the next subject. But if you have not given the right answer, it will give you a feedback which will make you think in that hot situation, because in that current situation, when your mind is activated on that subject, and then when you, on the basis of that feedback, when you reorganize your information processing on that particular subject, and that is where you learn. I would call them as the critical moments of your life. Like in a cricket, when a batsman is out, that particular ball and that particular moment is a critical moment. In a student's learning process, there are so many critical moments he loses if he has to wait for his results to come. And why should he wait? When his mind is activated, that is the time he should be taught. So the feedback system, like how Leena just said now, the feedback system on that instant basis and the now of that feedback will be the real teacher of education for a child who's taking education with the help of a screen and a technology.
Yes, I think there's been a clear paradigm shift that will happen in 2021, where you said education and technology will come in sync. I think a lot of startups are being funded as well. Are there any apps you would like to recommend, since you're having like strength in the education space and the tech space? Do you know of some apps that you think parents can refer back to?
I wouldn't like to speak about it now. We'll let you know when we develop ours.
So, Ekta, what is going to be happening on the platform of Moonshot Conversations and Corroboree? Corroboree is an Australian word, and it's an Australian word with a different spelling, but Leena has Christian that word as Corroboree with a K. She is baptized this particular word actually. And what Corroboree is going to do in the near future is, we all know that kids love games. We all know that journals shape up the mind. Journaling is a good habit to develop. We all know journaling being done with the family will definitely develop the child and also the parents as good parents. So the journaling and the journals which are available on moonshotconversations.com, the program that we do on Habits of Mind on a Sunday to Sunday basis at 5 p.m., these journals are available as a gift from us to the whole world, for them to do those journals, for them to see those episodes, for them to understand topics like optimism, the power of now, resilience, mindfulness, all of these subjects. So it will not only impact the parent but also the child, and it will impact the overall community of learning. Corroboree is a sacred community of people coming together and bringing a change in this world, first by becoming good and great parents for their kids, so that the kids tomorrow can become great parents as well to their kids. So this is an initiative. Very shortly, what we'll be doing is, we'll be putting up our LMS system, the learning management system, to the audience for them to use it and train themselves on the habits of mind and many other information which Leena is processing because of the research of this 40,000 hours that she's done in this last 30 years, and bringing in the best content of the world, bringing in the best thought leaders of the world together, and creating curriculum which we should be teaching life lessons to the parents and the teachers. And at the same time, we're also going to have a platform where hand-picked toys and hand-picked games from across the world will be collated together and provided to people on the Corroboree platform, so that it can be utilized by the kids and the parents to make this place a better world to live in, by educating them and by building their EQ. There are too many methods by which you can develop your IQ. The world today needs a development of EQ, which is not in the school syllabus, and that's going to be our core focus zone, not discounting the academics part of life, also supporting that through gamification of education, but more so on teaching topics and methodologies which will also strengthen the EQ. So that's going to be the steps going forward for me and Leena as far as Corroboree and Moonshot Conversations is concerned.
Wow, that's unveiling a lot of interesting things for kids and parents as well. We really look forward to something you'd like to add, Leena, like considering you have a lot of experience. Is there something specific you'd like?
I'm hoping everyone is waiting. We're just building the curiosity, and we'll be ready to launch very soon.
Great, thank you so much. Who exactly is your audience? Is it young parents of teenagers, or across all age groups?
So Ekta, I think technology flaw. Leena has just dropped in. She's in Goa currently, so she'll join in again. But I'll answer this question of yours. The target audience is everybody, anybody and everybody. The audience who's a child today is going to be a parent tomorrow. The parent who's a parent today is definitely going to be a great parent for the child that he has. So it is absolutely for 100% of the audience. It is absolutely
Right.
not connected to any age group, anybody and everybody. So parenting is an ongoing process till you're a parent. So you might be a parent, you might be a grandparent, but still you're a parent. So it is for everybody. So habits of mind are generic qualities that one needs to develop. It is immaterial of whether you're a parent or not. It is for all. Either you're a student, you're a child, or you're a parent. And all these three categories are our target audience. We are aiming to everybody and anybody who can understand what we are doing and who can absorb that with the methods that we are using.
Interesting. I think we have Lena joining us. Welcome back again, Lena.
I'm sorry. I'm in Goa, so it's you know how it is.
Yes, yes. You're lucky, Lena, to be there. So Lena and Agnello, how did this partnership happen? So, both of you from different genres. It's an interesting concept. How did you all come together to put this together?
I think let Lena begin. She's a better speaker.
It's the it's the universe. The universe put us together. We've kind of known each other a little bit more than acquaintances, a little less than really dear friends. But we've sort of known each other for a few years, and then we bumped into each other a few times, and that always gets me thinking that there's something to that. And I was anyway wanting to enter the world of EQ, and then we did one show together, and it just sort of took off from there. We had a conversation, and we've got the essential ingredients for any marriage. And when I say marriage, for me, any relationship, is a marriage. So we've got trust. We've got similar energy levels. We've got similar intention, and we both wish the best for each other. So that's the basis for any great marriage. So um, coming together was just, I think, just natural. It's just something that the universe sort of aligned for us to do, and everything's just been flowing. It's not like from day one we knew exactly what we were going to do and how we were going to execute it. It's like an onion unpeeling and unfolding. Every day is a new day. Every day we think about something new, we discuss something new, and yeah, we're both just really excited about contributing to the world and making the world a happier, kinder, sweeter place to be in.
Thank
So
you so much, Lena. Agnello, actually, with a lot of experience in an array of things, real estate, mentoring. So, how do you have something to share, Agnello?
yeah, sure. So, Ekta, the quality of life depends on the quality of people that you enjoy this journey with. And Leena Asher is definitely a very inspiring personality. There is a lot of common between us. Most importantly, is the vibrations, the law of attraction, and the manifestation that we do to contribute to the lives of people around us. And that's what we have done all our life. So, in a way, I'm an educationist in the technical space, and in a way, she is educationist on the habits of the mind space. And we started our career almost in the same year in 1993. I've always been an admirer of what Leena has done, the knowledge that she carries, the attitude that she has, the happiness that glows on her face all the time. So that's definitely a magnetic effect. She's a great personality. And what better to have a partner who's so good, who's so genuine, who so much believes in doing good to the world. So it's a lovely journey together. The faith, the belief, and the capabilities of reading each other's minds and hearts is very rare. It's a rarity. So I can say what she's thinking now, and she can say what I'm thinking now. So this is a bond. This is a date with destiny, is what I would call it. And this date of the this date of destiny, when we kept meeting each other, has actually fructified in something so good. But I can make one promise on this show today, Ekta. Whatever we will do will be extraordinary. Whatever we will do will add dramatic life to this world. And whatever we will do will be remembered by the world for the rest of our existence and beyond us. And that's the objective. Simple objective is adding value to the lives of people. Whatever
Yeah.
business she has done in her life is adding value to their lives of people. Whatever businesses I do, every business that I do, I'm into multiple businesses, but every business that I do is only with a single objective, of what value can I add to the life of a person who becomes my customer, who becomes my vendor, or who becomes my partner. It is only value addition, one line activity, and one mission of life. With Lena, I'm so empowered. You need to feel empowered with the partner that you have. I feel so empowered of bringing a dramatic change. And the concept that we are working on and on the subject that we are working on, the whole world is one city for us. The whole world is a small village for us. There is no restriction. There is no creed, religion, caste, language, no bar. The content that we will build will be given to a Japanese, to an American, to a Greek, to an Italian, to everybody. Because today, language is no bar. You can translate anything that you create. So I'm so excited about doing this journey together that I know I always envisioned that we should be into an activity which can impact 7 billion people, the entire population of the world. And this is that activity. Education is that activity. Parenting is that activity, because a parent is a parent, whether it's an Italian, American, German, or a Japanese, doesn't matter. There is no language for being a good parent and a bad parent. So I'm very gung-ho about this, and it's my promise that what we are doing, that with Lena and myself and the fabulous team that we have with us, we have got an extraordinary, powerful, impactful, focused and committed team along with us, because it is going to be a team game. It's not going to be a game of only Lena and Agnello Rajesh, but we have got a robust team with us, and together we are going to create concepts, and we are going to create information and knowledge which will definitely add value to this world and make this world a better place to live in. That is our life mission now.
Those are very, very kind words, Mr. Agnello. Thank you so much. Wishing you all the very best. And before we wrap up the session, if there is something that you would like to add, Lena, I go back and see all the 8 episodes. I've seen every single episode with Rageshwari and the ones prior. I think there is a key takeaway from every video that I've seen. It's wonderful with millions of views. So wishing you all the very best, and I look forward to seeing what's being unraveled in the next coming weeks or months. So if there are any final thoughts before we wrap up the session, we'll try to answer any question later after this session. Do you have something to say before we wrap up?
I think Agnello Rajesh has said it all. I'll let him have the last word.
So, Ekta, thank you for this show. It's a privilege and a pleasure communicating with you. I'm sure the platform that you're operating, Confused Parent, after a few days, you might have to change the name, because we will ensure that no parent is confused here on. And everybody watching this show, you're a part of our journey. Everybody watching the show, please be with us. Please support the initiative that we have taken. Ekta, you're already a part of this journey together. For the rest of their life, for the rest of everybody's life, we are all going to be together. We will create a sacred community of people. We will create our corroboree. Ekta, you're already on board. And let's take this journey positively forward. And let's enjoy this journey of life together by spreading the right knowledge, information, peace, and happiness. God bless. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure to be with you all. Have a good day.